Hello, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a deep dive into what makes a modern school tick. We're going to use Hoa School in Ho Chi Minh City as our guide to really break down what a comprehensive education looks like, from their deepest beliefs to student life and everything in between. So, let's get right into it.
This is the big question, isn't it? For every parent, for every student, you're not just picking a building with some teachers inside, you're literally choosing a direction for your future. So with so many choices out there, how does a school like Ho Sen even begin to answer that?
Okay, let's start where it all begins, the school's core philosophy. This stuff is so important because it's not just about what they teach, it's about the why. It's the soul of the entire institution.
So what's the story here in terms of experience and scale? Well, we're talking about a school that's been doing this for over 14 years. And it's not small scale. We're talking 3 campuses and over 2,500 students. You know, that scale isn't just a number. It's a sign of real stability and a whole lot of trust that's been earned over time.
You can really see their journey unfolding here. It kicked off with an official city mandate way back in 2011. And from there, it's grown into a really significant choice for families. But look at that future goal. They're not standing still. They're actively pushing to meet both national and international benchmarks.
So, this is the core idea that powers everything they do. But what does Thực tiễn nhân sinh thời đại actually mean for a student? Well, they've broken it down. It's about tying education to the real world. That's practicality. It's about building good people with strong character. That's humanity. And it's about preparing kids for the high-tech, fast-paced world we live in now. That's modernity. It's basically their recipe for creating a truly well-rounded person.
All right, that all sounds great as a philosophy, but how does that actually look in the classroom? What does a student at Hoa Sen really spend their day learning?
You can see a really smart progression here. In middle school, it's all about building that wide, strong foundation of knowledge and skills. But then when you get to high school, things get sharper. The focus shifts to getting ready for university, mastering active learning, and really digging into practical problem solving. It's a 2-stage rocket, basically.
Now, their motto, teach the core, learn with ease, I find that really fascinating. The idea isn't to just throw information at kids, it's to focus on what's truly essential, so they can learn it deeply without all the stress. They do this by building up those core skills, like how to study on your own or work in a team, and by putting a big emphasis on STEM. And that 2-session-a-day structure, that just gives students the time and space to actually absorb it all.
Of course, we all know that some of the most important lessons in life happen outside of a textbook or a lecture. So what's happening at Hoa Sen when the official school day is over?
Just take a look at that number, 15 plus. That's more than one major event or activity every single month of the school year. That tells you this is a place that truly believes in learning by doing, not just by reading.
And would you look at the variety here? It's the whole spectrum. You've got these cool experiential days for academics, a ton of sports to get active, and clubs to go deep on a passion. But for me, this last point is the real game changer. Workshops on life skills, things like anti-bullying, safety, and public speaking. That's the stuff that builds real, lasting confidence.
So when you pull back and look at the whole picture, the classes, the clubs, the workshops, it's all pointing towards this one clear goal. They're trying to shape students who aren't just smart, but who are also responsible, adaptable people ready to take on the world.
You know, an education isn't just about what you learn. The where is just as important. The community, the support systems. Let's take a look at how Hoa Sen builds that environment.
A really key part of their model is giving families options. So you've got the full-day program for local students, of course, but they also offer a full boarding school option. And they talk about it as more than just a place to live. They see it as an environment specifically designed to help students build independence and self-discipline, a real home away from home.
But hey, at the end of the day, the real proof is in what the parents and students actually experience. Listen to this. This parent, who's a leader in the Parent Association, points to 2 things. Their child is more advanced and happier. I mean, getting both of those right, that's the absolute sweet spot for any school.
And here's another story, this time zooming in on that boarding experience. It describes a total transformation, from being shy to having lots of friends, all while grades improved. You know, that feeling of relief she mentions,
That feeling of, I'm relieved to have chosen the right place, that's just priceless for a parent.
This last one really speaks to something every parent needs: trust. The ability to go on a work trip and not just know your child is being looked after, but that they're actively growing and becoming more independent. Wow. That says so much about the care and the community here.
All right, so after hearing all that, if this model sounds like it could be a good fit, what's the actual process for a family that's thinking about joining the Hoasan community?
They've made the process really straightforward, which is great to see. It's a clear, four-step path. It starts with a simple registration, then a personal consultation to talk things over. After that, there's a quick English survey to see where the student is at. And then you get the final admissions notice. It's all about making sure it's the right fit for everybody, with no surprises.
So for anyone who wants to take that next step, they make it super easy. You can just pick up the phone and call the admissions hotline, or, and this is probably the best way, go and visit one of the 3 campuses to see it all for yourself.
And that brings us right back around to where we started. We've seen how this one school weaves together academics, character, and community. So the final question really isn't just about the school itself. It's about how a foundation like this can empower a young person to go out and build their own future. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.